So we just finished talking about the Protestant Reformation, if I remember correctly. And so you know what we have to talk about? There's going to be another problem. And his name is Henry VIII. Okay, so Henry VIII, as a child, was a Catholic child. He's going to be the future or a monarch of England. He was also known as the defender of his faith. He believed in Catholicism. Now, he has one wife. Her name is Catherine of Aragon. Um, and he marries Catherine due to the fact that Catherine married his older brother, and his older brother suddenly dies. And so they did not consummate their marriage, which means they didn't put the pieces together. I'm going to leave it at that. And so Henry says, I'll marry her and we can be king and queen of England. Now, here's the thing about monarchies during this time. They're going to want male heirs. And so Catherine gives him a daughter named Mary. So let me give you a little background on Catherine. Catherine is a Spanish princess. So there's an alliance here that forms with her and Charles getting, or not her and Charles, her and Henry VIII getting married between Spain and England. So there's a tie, there's an alliance here. Now, he wants a male heir. He wants a son. Sons rule, girls don't, okay? And so what's going to happen is the Pope, he's going to reach out to the Pope and say, Catherine and I need to get divorced because I need a male son, and Catherine's old, and she can't give me any more babies. She had several miscarriages. And so the Pope looks at Henry and he says, Henry, in the Catholic faith, we do not divorce. Henry's going to say, I don't like that. So Henry decides to go around them and make his own church and declares himself the head of the Church of England. So when we talk about Henry VIII, he's going to have 6 wives, okay? And so the first wife is going to be Catherine of Aragon. She's from Spain, and she produces a daughter named Mary. They get divorced. Now, let me tell you a little something about Henry VIII. Henry VIII loved women, and so he's going to be involved with Anne Boleyn, his second wife, and she's going to be with child before he even divorces Catherine. And Anne Boleyn, unfortunately, to Henry's unfortunate, how he feels, is that he's going to produce a female heir named Elizabeth. Now, Anne Boleyn was claimed, and they stated that Anne Boleyn had affairs outside of the marriage to try to produce a male heir and to become pregnant. And so ultimately, word travels quickly. And so Henry finds out, and he has Anne Boleyn beheaded. Henry will marry Jane Seymour, who they quote is Jane Seymour is beautiful, blonde, and encouraged him to have a relationship with his daughter Mary and Elizabeth. And they love each other, and she will become with child, and she produces an heir named Edward VI, which is finally the son he wanted. But shortly after Edward is born, that day, Jane will die, and so Henry will become a widow, or a widower, excuse me. Anyway, so then later, Edward VI is a very sickly child all throughout his young adulthood, and what will happen is Henry's cabinet of people will say, hey, Henry, you've got to move on. And so he will marry Anne of Cleves, and she's from Germany. So they're trying to form a German alliance there, but it's not going to work out to his advantage. And they're going to get divorced because he's not attracted to her, and they were more like brother and sister in their relationship. Then he'll have Catherine Howard, who did actually have affairs outside the marriage. She did not produce any children, and she will ultimately be beheaded. And Catherine Parr actually survives Henry because Henry has terrible health issues, overweight, and things like that, and so she will actually outlive him. And so here's the line of succession for the Tudor family. Edward will take the throne at age 9, but then he's going to die, probably I think around age 15, and Mary will take the throne. Now here's the issue with Mary. She's a devout Catholic, and she kills Protestants, and that's where she gets the name of Bloody Mary. Remember, her mother Catherine was Catholic. Then Mary will die, and Elizabeth I comes to power. That's the original gangster of Queen Elizabeth I. And that will move us into the golden age of England, and the Church of England was strong during this time. But you need to understand, this is a big note you need to add to your notes. The Church of England will be the Anglican Church, and it is another branch away from the Catholic Church because they did not give Henry his way.